Red Wings Aces of the Sky is a new arcade action game that has you playing as a pilot during World War I. Red Wings is very easy to pick up and play. In each mission, you control a plane. You can control your speed along with firing at many enemies. You will not need to worry about ammo, but rather if your guns will overheat. You will need to keep an eye on your fuel and health, as they can only be healed through finding support balloons that you fly through. When it comes to controlling your plane and firing at enemies, this is a game that essentially requires no skill, but it's also enjoyable to play. There is no barrier to entry with this title. It's very easy to just pick up and control the action and get right into the fun. In many ways, it reminds me of the old school local co-op games that I enjoyed with my father and friends when I was younger. Red Wings grabbed me right away with its enjoyable arcadey action. The game does provide you with some more options for the levels. You have a useful barrel roll so that you can dodge enemy fire. When you are doing a barrel roll, you will not take any damage, so you can use this as a means for an offensive attack as well. In many instances, enemies will fly into you head on, and if they hit you, they will die, but they can cause a decent amount of damage. If you can time your barrel roll right, you can start a roll, not take any damage, and destroy an enemy plane. You can also use the many clouds as a means to break line of sight from an enemy if you do not have any abilities available. If you need to get a better position on an enemy, you can perform a 180 turn to resituate yourself for an attack. Another ability allows you to call in allies that can help you attack a designated target. My favorite of the provided abilities is the takedown. After you have killed a few enemies, you will build up a takedown meter. Once this is full, you can instantly kill a damaged enemy. This treats you to a cool little cutscene featuring your pilot pulling out a pistol and shooting an enemy pilot. This is a little bit silly, but it's really awesome to pull off. The game tries to provide a decent amount of mission variety to help keep things fresh. The mission objectives range from killing all the planes, destroying enemy balloons, flying through rings before running out of fuel, bombing missions, and missions where you need to defend your allied balloons. Generally, most of the missions consist of you needing to destroy a set amount of enemies to proceed. The flying through ring missions are different, and they put some of your piloting skills to the test, and the most unique of these missions are the bombing missions, especially in co-op. When you are in a bombing mission, the first player is the bomber and must destroy set targets on the ground. You will have a bit more health, but you move very slow. The second player will be in their normal fighter, and they need to protect you by destroying enemy planes. This mission really takes advantage of the great local co-op that is provided here, and it requires some coordination to succeed. The game provides the player with 2 campaigns, and both campaigns can be played in both single and local co-op. I spent most of my time in local co-op and had a blast with it. As you complete campaign missions, you will earn 1 or 3 stars for your completion. Some missions will require you to get a certain score or complete it in a certain time. The earning of the stars adds to the replay value of Red Wings. You can use the earned stars as a means to upgrade your planes. You can improve your recharge rate for your machine guns, improve the cooldown of your moves, and more. Since some of the missions will require you to hit a certain score, there is a combo system that you need to pay attention to, especially during those missions. As you kill an enemy, your combo will increase. If you can damage an enemy, then you can maintain your combo meter. This is where the enjoyable arcadey scoring system comes into play. While the campaign missions try to change up the objectives, the game also introduces new enemy types to try and keep things fresh, like planes with regenerating shields, or balloons that will call in enemy reinforcements until you destroy them. The game succeeds in providing enjoyable arcadey action. What helps the campaign greatly is how short and quick the missions are. You never feel like you are in the same level for too long. The missions try try to provide you with different backdrops, and at times provide you with different times of day to provide you with different visual variety. I spent most of my time playing Red Wings in local co-op. This game is both fun in single and co-op, and I found this to be a great co-op game. Like I said before, with the easy pick up and play nature to this game, you can have an enjoyable evening with your friends shooting down enemy planes. It is important to note that while in co-op, if one of you dies, the screen will shift to full screen for the surviving player. To add even more content to the game does feature local competitive play with a friend or a fun horde mode to enjoy as well. There's a good amount of content here to go along with the enjoyable action. Red Wings is a really fun game, but it does have a few flaws that I found with it. One thing that you will notice is that while the game does do a decent effort to change up the mission objectives, many of the campaign missions from both campaigns will blend together. I think what would have helped to provide more variety to this game is to include more missions like the bomber missions, but in a different way. Because the bomber missions put both players into distinct roles, changing up the normal gameplay. Maybe in a sequel you could have a mission where one player flies the plane, and then have another player operate a turret from the back of the plane. Since many of the missions have samey-like objectives, you might find some of the levels in extended play sessions to start feeling a bit tedious as you're going through them. Thankfully, this is where the good gameplay backs up the stuff to really elevate these parts. One thing that I did find occasionally annoying was how certain planes and balloons could cause you to die in one hit. This sort of stuff felt cheap and annoying when it happened, especially in co-op. I wish there was a way in co-op for the surviving player to earn an extra life for the dead player and bring them back into the action. Maybe have the surviving player kill a certain plane within a limited period of time or something. My last flaw with the game are the cutscenes and the voice acting within them. Each campaign tries to provide some context to the missions with some stories about each side of the war. The cutscenes are done in a comic panel style format and they are rather boring to sit through. The voice acting doesn't help with this either, as the voice acting ranges from average to bad. I appreciate what the developers were trying to do with this, but it didn't work for me.
Since none of you have scored any air victories yet, I introduce you to William Kennedy Cochran Patrick, who will show you around the aerodrome. He will be my right hand here. So if any of you is spying on us, his name would be quite tricky to repeat anyhow. Thank you, Hubert. As you might already have been told, we are not here to fool around. We have the best planes, the Newports, because our task is not ordinary either. I assume all of you have heard about Lieutenant Manfred von Richthofen.
Overall, Red Wings is a really enjoyable arcade game. It is really easy to get into and it has very enjoyable gameplay. There's a good amount of content here with 2 campaigns, a horde mode, and a versus mode. You can enjoy all the content in 2-player co-op, and as you progress in the campaigns, you will unlock and improve your abilities along with finding new skins for your planes. The game does have some flaws, but none of them really overshadow the enjoyable nature of the game. This is more of a fun, laid-back title that anyone can enjoy. If you're looking for a fun local co-op game to play, I highly recommend you check this one out, and thank you very much for watching.